Hey guys, my name is Timeo, and today I'm excited to say that the Battlefield 4 summer patch, the one that I've been waiting on for quite some time, is now in its final stages of development on the CTE. The one thing that got me really riled up about this, and hopefully will bring you a lot of joy as well, is that it looks like we're also going to be getting the Zavod Night map with this update. If you're not aware, there are 3 night maps currently in development on the CTE. We've got Zavod, which I just mentioned, Gulmud Railways, and Siege of Shanghai. The thing is, though, is that it looks like DICE has run into some optimization issues. They've run into some problems with the old-gen consoles, which is causing a bit of a delay on the other 2 maps, Gulmud Railways and Siege of Shanghai. And while I don't think there has been any official word on this just yet, I have a feeling that those 2 maps are not going to be with the summer update. Zavod, on the other hand, is in the patch notes for the CTE for this finalization patch, and so it leads me to believe that we're going to be getting that one while the other 2 are going to come in the next patch, or hopefully the next patch after that. This, of course, is a little disappointing. I was hoping, as I'm sure all of you were, that we would be getting all 3 maps at the same time so that we could enjoy the content. But to look on the bright side of things, and while I'm still disappointed, I guess this could be a good thing for the longevity of Battlefield 4. There isn't going to be a lot of new content in the next year until we wait for the next big Battlefield title, whatever that is. Battlefield 5, Bad Company 3, whatever it is, it's going to be a while until we get new, fresh content. And while I'm hoping that DICE has plans on continuing to bring us all this awesome content like they've done with the community map and the night maps, I have a feeling that it's going to be very, very barren over this next year. And so if we look at it from that viewpoint, having it piecemeal like this, where this month, or hopefully in the next month when the summer patch goes live, we'll be getting Zavod Night map, the next patch we'll be getting the night maps after that, or maybe the community maps, and kind of piecemeal it out that way so that we're getting fresh content every couple of patches. That doesn't sound too terrible when we look at it from that viewpoint. And so while yes, this news is a little disappointing, the simple fact that it looks like we are going to be getting one night map, Zavod Night Shift, is really exciting. I love the night combat on that map. It brings in a different gameplay that you really don't have to think about when you're playing normal Battlefield 4. You're going to be using a wider diversity of gadgets that you normally don't have to rely on. And so just in general, I'm still very excited about this. Hopefully you guys will be as well, because Zavod Night map, to the best of my knowledge, is going to be coming in the summer patch. Another thing that I thought was noteworthy is that DICE has made some changes to the flashbangs. Flashbangs right now in Battlefield 4 are kind of a plague on certain maps, and especially when you're playing on TDM. Even if you're staring at a wall, which I'm sure a lot of you guys have done, if a flashbang happens around you, you're still getting the flash effect. It still blinds you for a couple of seconds. When flashbangs are constantly being tossed into a room, you have no way of countering that. You can try to stumble away from the front line and get away from it to hopefully get rid of the blinding effect, but it's really, really annoying. And so it looks like DICE has taken our criticism. They realized that they pushed the flashbang a little bit too far, and so what they've done on the CTE is that now, if you're not looking directly at it, it's not going to have such a severe impact on your visuals. To give you a good illustration, here I am tossing a flashbang directly in front of me. I don't know if the visuals are going to be identical. This could just be a visual bug. They may be tweaking some things, but I kind of like the black screen that comes up when you are flashbang. It's kind of nice. I actually do like it. But when you are facing directly at a flashbang, of course you are going to have the full blinding effect. As soon as you start to turn a little bit away from it, it doesn't last as long. When you go to about a 90-degree angle for it, it doesn't really affect you whatsoever, and especially when you have your back entirely turned to the flashbang, you notice that a flashbang happened around you. There are some really cool particle effects that fly across your screen, but you're not going to be visually impaired whatsoever. You can immediately go back into combat. You can catch the enemies by surprise who thought that he got a flashbang on you. He thought he had the upper hand, but you're ready to go. You got your ADS up, and you're going to be able to slap him around with a bunch of virtual bullets. One thing that was very surprising to me is that it looks like DICE has standardized the turn speed of all of the vehicles in Battlefield 4. Right now, when you're in a tank, it takes a very long time to turn that turret a full 180 degrees. If you're in a Jeep and you're riding around in the 50 cal, it doesn't take that long. It's got a much faster mouse sensitivity. The sensitivity is a lot higher. Same is true for the minigun and the transport helicopter. And so what this means on the battlefield is that now when you're in a tank, you're going to be able to whip that bad boy around significantly faster. It's going to feel the same as if you were using a 50 caliber in the Jeep playing as an an infantry player. And while I realize this does detract from the authenticity of a tank and some of these vehicles, a tank is not going to be able to whip their vehicle around at Mach 5. Like, it's just not simply possible. But from a gameplay standpoint, I kind of like it. I know that some people are going to be upset by this because it will make it a little bit more challenging for people to sneak up on a tank. If a tank can literally just whip that thing around, they can get a much better view of what's happening around them. But it also just is an upgrade to vehicles in general. Having this nice standardization is going to relieve some of the headaches of constantly jumping in and out of different vehicles and not really having a good grasp of the turn speed on every single one of them. And while I can only imagine there will be some growing pains for a lot of people out there, they'll have to get adjusted and acclimated to the new system, I think this is not going to be the end of the world for Battlefield 4 in relation to tank combat, and I think a lot of people are actually going to enjoy these changes. But once again, this is the CTE. They may revert it back to what it originally was, but only time will tell at this point. But yeah, guys, that is about it for today's update. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you thought about what I discussed in today's video. Are you excited about the changes to the flashbangs? Are you glad it's no longer going to be as severe of a problem? Let me know down below. But yep, until tomorrow, have a good one and take it easy.